Rise and grind, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing to get more of my transformational contents. And while you're here, hit the like button for me. You know, school teaches us a lot of things. It teaches us how to go about our academic work and really how to intellectually think for yourself. Since graduating college and even graduate school, I realized that there were so many things that I was missing that I didn't necessarily get in college. So in this video, I am going to share with you 7 things that I wish I got from college. School teaches you a lot of things, but the one thing that school doesn't necessarily teach you is financial literacy. Finances is very important when you get into the real world. When you start working, when you get a new job and start adulting and living the real world lifestyle, you tend to realize that money becomes very important. Financial literacy is one of the things that I really wish I was taught in school. It's rather unfortunate that I did not get any financial literacy while in school. It wasn't in the curriculum, and it was not something that was really taught to me, whether it be in academic advising or some sort of mentorship program. I did not really acquire any financial literacy from school. Talk about financial literacy, I'm really talking about, you know, budgeting, making monthly budgeting, how to really spend your money, investments, credit building, debt payment, because as you know, a lot of us go to school and acquire a huge amount of student loans, and how to even manage student loans is a problem because you have to learn about interest rate, whether fixed or variable. It is something that you don't really get any kind of knowledge from school about. So you get into the real world and you get really disoriented and don't know how to go about some of these things because life just hits you so hard in the face that you have to really figure out. You know, you probably have gone on YouTube to learn about budgeting or paying debt and whatnot. There's so many things that I believe could have been taught in terms of finances that I wasn't really taught. I really appreciate my college degree, but I wish that I had more in terms of learning about financial literacy. The second thing that I wish I learned from school is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, as you know, is very key. It is very essential in our personal relationships or even in professional settings, because how to manage your emotions is really important. You know, how do you relate to family members? How do you relate to co-workers? How do you even handle situations that involves high stake of emotion? You have to pretty much learn these things. How do you even really operate under pressure? A lot of people don't really know how to go about these things, and school doesn't necessarily teach you that. And you know, college don't really have curriculum that break down emotional intelligence for you. And so it becomes very hard for a person to come out of college and really know how to function in terms of managing emotions. Emotional intelligence become really key, and I really wish that school had a curriculum that help students learn about emotional intelligence so that when they go into the real world, they are able to function right and perform better. The third thing that I wish I learned in school is critical thinking and problem solving skills. College curriculum are tied into really memorizing stuff and really trying to remember some of the things that you've learned to be able to really do well on tests and exams. And it's quite unfortunate that critical thinking could be lacking. I did a fair amount of critical thinking when I got to grad school, but not so much college, which is undergrad, because we don't really necessarily have courses that really pertain to critical thinking, but you are really taught to learn facts and theories and to be able to remember them. And learning problem solving skills really helps in the real world, because in transitioning, you get to really think deeply about things and know how to solve real life problems. In particular jobs, critical thinking really helps individuals think deeply and know how to think outside the box to help them solve problems so that they're not just sidetracked on the one way of approaching problems. The fourth thing that I wish I learned in school is communication and collaboration. I believe I learned some level of communication and collaboration by learning to communicate through emails with my professors or doing group projects with my classmates. Well, that is the first step of learning to communicate and collaborate, because collaboration is really teaching us to know how to work in teams, so that when we get into the real world and working with our co-workers on projects and things of the real world, we really know how to team up with other people. But teamwork is not necessarily taught in school. I have learned the essence of communicating and collaborating in this real world. It is something that is very much needed to be able to function right and to solve real life problems. Number 5 is time management and organizational skills. I really wish school build time management skills and organizational skills in the curriculum and made it mandatory for every single person to learn. It would have been really helpful if I had learned time management as a curriculum. How to really organize yourself, how to set goals, how to prioritize your goals, and even knowing how to execute by order of importance of things, because it's something that I truly personally struggled with when I got into the real world. I believe teaching students how to, set goals, organize themselves in terms of using calendar and, balancing work and life is something that I believe can be incorporated in curriculums in colleges, and even starting from high school. It is very, very essential, because when you go into the real world, you learn how to set goals, you learn how to plan your stuff, and really prioritizing the task that you have at hand. It is very important that some of these things get incorporated in college and in schools, so that when students get in the real world, they are able to function better. So this one right here is also important. Mental health and well-being. Mental health is something that we talk about in schools. We are normally encouraged to go to the counseling center, normally sometimes attached to your health center. These are very important. Some of these things are encouraged because students go through anxiety and go through some trauma and crisis while they're in school. But it is not necessarily a thing that is taught in the curriculum. Taking mental health as a curriculum in college could have been very helpful. For my well-being, we get into the real world and we start to face problems with our mental health. There's so many tools out there that present to us self-care, and it's really important. However, schools don't really incorporate some of these things in the curriculum. Therefore, we come out of school, go into the real world, and we get really disoriented, and we face all sorts of mental health problems. Mental health and personal well-being is something that I believe schools shouldn't even take for granted. We don't want to wait for students to go through trauma, anxiety, or the finals week anxiety that students get. So many different challenges when it comes to mental health. And if schools are incorporating some of these things into their curriculum, I believe it would change a lot of lives. The last one that I want to share, number 7, is entrepreneurship and innovation. Entrepreneurship has become so mainstream that nowadays a lot of people come out of school and are looking to start business for themselves, simply because there is a need for increased income, or there is a need for people to become financially free. And how do you do that? Schools don't necessarily teach you that, because you major in, let's say, biology or psychology, and that is pretty much your focus, and you pick all your classes that are centered around that particular course. But the innovative skills is really lacking. Schools don't teach you how to really be creative, unless maybe you are a business student or entrepreneur student that really teaches you specifically how to develop a startup, or how to start a business, or how to write business plans. Schools don't necessarily teach you that. It doesn't really help students with their creative skills, innovative skills, or entrepreneurial skills. It doesn't really teach you to start projects for yourself. So I really wish school really taught me that, because I had to really figure out entrepreneurship outside of school. And it became very, very important, because I had vision of really utilizing some of my skills and expertise that I have developed along the way to really build something for myself, some sort of a venture that can really help people in some kind of way, whether being providing them with some services or offering them some kind of product. It is very essential that schools dedicate some sort of curriculum to be offered to students, to have the options to take some of these, to incorporate entrepreneurship. It is essential that schools incorporate entrepreneurship and innovation into their curriculum to help them with how to brainstorm ideas and creative thinking, to help them create ventures, start businesses, and ideas to generate extra income. It is very important when you get into the real world, because financial freedom is very much a necessity. College really taught me a lot. It did a great deal of job allowing me to think intellectually and learn how to apply knowledges that I acquired into solving problems and answering questions and doing well. Drop in the comment box things that you wish school taught you. That's all I have for you. I hope you found this to be valuable. Hit the like button for me, and if you've not subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Keep grinding, and catch you later.